Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no. I would just like to take a moment to say thank you to you guys, because you guys have shown so much appreciation and love for all of my videos that I've uploaded on this YouTube channel. Right from the very first video that was ever uploaded on this YouTube channel, I took a chance on Descendants of Zombies. I didn't know how much of a reach the video was going to have, and my videos were seen by thousands of people, with over 65,000 channel views plus on this YouTube channel and nearly 3,000 subscribers having happened. This is truly amazing, and it's been an unforgettable experience that I know I will never ever forget. I want you guys to know that no matter what happens to me or where I go from here, I will never forget the profound impact that Descendants of Zombies and its fans had on my life, because you guys took somebody who hadn't been heard from or seen from in years and gave him a chance to be heard on YouTube and seen by thousands of people. Now, because of each and every one of you, more people know who I am than ever before, and I have each and every one of you to thank for that, for having made me your voice of Descendants of Zombies, which I couldn't feel more honored to be in your guys' presence talking about your favorite stars. Because I've always believed that if you're talking about people like Freya, Skye, and Clarke, you should do it with a passion. You shouldn't pre-write statements. You shouldn't have anything pre-prepared before recording a video. You should just do everything with an open heart and an open mind. Because Descendants of Zombies fans will appreciate you more if you speak with an open heart and an open mind and speak from your heart. I say this because your heart is always your best friend. Or at least that's what I've always been raised to believe, and have believed all of my lifetime. Because a dream starts with your heart. It's a wish that's made by your heart, and everything comes into fruition and eventually comes full circle. Even if it seems impossible for you to have happen for you, a dream can become a reality to you and is that much closer to you than ever before. And that's why I agree with Clarke every single night that she opened up the Worlds Collide tour with how a dream is possible for anybody, because it really is. My heart goes out to Clarke, and I want her to know that, because I know about the criticism she's received, and it's totally unnecessary. But it's because of the love and support that you guys have always had for Clarke in your heart, and the same thing can be said about Freya, Skye. That's why they're superstars, and they became famous overnight, because that's precisely what I wanted to have happen for them. The thing is, I've always been a fan of Clarke. I remember watching her on YouTube, reviewing my favorite shows, Sam and Cat, Victorious, iCarly, what have you. It was a generation of kids' TV, especially from Nickelodeon, that I had fallen in love with, because Nickelodeon had some really great shows back in the 1990s, like Are You Afraid of the Dark, eventually spinning off of that, iCarly, and what had you. And I remember the rise of popularity of stars like Miranda Cosgrove and Victoria Justice because of the success credited to iCarly and Victorious, and everything Dan Schneider had to do with the product, as ridiculous as he turned out to be with his treatment of Ariana Grande and Amanda Bynes. We all know those stories. I'm not going to get into that. But I had a greater appreciation for Clarke because she was showcasing the true worth behind some of my favorite shows. Because I knew what it was like to be each and every one of you. I knew what it was like to be inspired by a show, to fall in love with your favorite characters like Carly Shay from iCarly, Tori Vega from Victorious, Victoria Justice, and Miranda Cosgrove did a beautiful job bringing these characters to life. And I just had a greater appreciation coming away from every show, that I felt like I was a part of it, because it wasn't just about watching a show for me. It was about feeling a part of it and feeling immersed in what you were talking about. And the way that you put together a review on YouTube, you really got to feel as if you're a part of it. You've really got to feel as if you're attending Hollywood Arts, which is what the show Victorious revolved around. You've really got to feel as if you're the host of a web show, which is what iCarly revolved around on and prided itself on. It's not just about saying how you feel about a show. You've got to create a presentation and a production that makes people feel as if you're a part of it and you appreciate it. And I was able to do that with Descendants. I took something that was obviously special. It was very apparent that it was special to you guys. And I promised you a year and a half ago I was going to upload at least one video per day about Descendants of Zombies and your favorite stars that had related to the product and had become famous overnight because of how powerful the franchise Descendants of Zombies became. That's the reason why Freya, Skye, and Clarke are as popular as they are, because of each and every one of you. It had nothing to do with the criticism that was thrown their way and they were faced with every day. It was how you guys could outshine all that criticism. And you ultimately became the light out of darkness for Freya, Skye, and Clarke every single time. The cast of Descendants of Zombies, I will forever and always believe they are the most talented cast ever assembled for a Disney Channel original movie or for anything having to do with Disney+. I will forever support that. And I will forever advocate for anyone who ever proudly said they were a fan of Descendants of Zombies, no matter how they related to the music, the script, because it's very easily done. Descendants of Zombies are the easiest franchises to fall in love with and feel like you've been in love with them for your entire life. And that's what inspired me about it. How they took something that was just a mere project for Disney Channel and turned it into a worldwide phenomenon with the Worlds Collide Tour, making this summer the greatest summer of my life, because I actually gave the Worlds Collide Tour a chance, because that's what I wanted to do, because I love the performances of Freya Skye. I will never forget that night she came out on stage for the very first time and performed Gold's Gone, and had an emotional breakdown on stage, and thanked each and every one of you, because you thanked her back. The feeling was mutual, and that's something I could feel in the performances of Freya Skye. That's something I could feel that was very evident in the air with the performances of Kylie Cantrell. Because the cool thing about the Worlds Collide Tour is we didn't just get to know them as Nova and Red. We saw them as Kylie Cantrell and Freya Skye too, who are people just like each and every one of you. The reality of life is Freya Skye and Kylie Cantrell are just everyday individuals, like each and every one of us. And the more that we can realize that and grasp the concept of that, to realize they have emotions and they have heart and they cry too, the better off we're all going to be, because we can show them the love and support that they've been, crying out for forever, and we can stop the tears of people like Kylie Cantrell and Freya Skye. I think it has everything to do with how critics love to criticize whatever they can when it comes to Descendants and Zombies. And Descendants and Zombies, I will forever and always believe, provided people with the perfect opportunity to offer criticism that they prided themselves on and became famous for on YouTube. I am not a critic, ladies and gentlemen. I am a columnist. So as a columnist, I take a certain pride and a passion in talking about your favorite stars, which is why I think it's completely unnecessary when people like Kylie Cantrell and Freya Skye will not watch themselves on YouTube, or they just feel like crying all the time because of how people feel about them because they're not living up to a certain criteria. For me, that creates a problem, and that creates an issue. And the things I think about are each and every one of you, and how your hearts must feel when your favorite stars are put under the spotlight for every wrong reason possible, and the negatives. I really want to take that away, and I want to do something about it. I want them to know that everything is going to be okay, and I want you guys to know that eventually Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland will happen, and Zombies 5 is more evident than ever before. Because why do you think they're setting up with these new cast members coming into the Zombies franchise? They're setting it up to secure the future of the Zombies franchise. So for those of you who believe that the story is far from over, then I support that, because I never wanted to take that away from you. I never wanted to stand in the way of Descendants of Zombies excelling to the heights of unprecedentedness, like many of the critics would select to choose. That, we've seen enough Zombies and Descendants movies. I've heard everything about Descendants of Zombies, and I say this because I'm just like each and every one of you. I don't know what's going to happen in Descendants or Zombies from one moment to the next, but that's what makes this so cool and so fun. It's so unpredictable, not knowing what's going to happen in Zombies or Descendants from one moment to the next. And it makes me ever more appreciative to be a fan of it, seeing how strong and powerful Kylie Cantrell and Freya Skye have become, and how they just stand in the face of adversity every single time and slap it across the face. I think that is really cool, because it shows defiance against these critics. It shows that they're strong and they're fearless, and they don't really care what anybody thinks of them. But when I see them crying, it really presents an issue, because I know they're idols of each and every one of you, and you draw your inspiration from stars like Kylie Cantrell. I know because I've seen it in interactive experiences with Kylie Cantrell, where she calls her fans and they want to get in the same gig and line of work as Kylie Cantrell. And I want each and every one of you to know it is possible. It may be a constant struggle, but it really is possible for you to achieve any dream, even if that is following in the same footsteps as Kylie Cantrell and Freya Skye. Because if there were true inspirations in the entertainment industry at this point, it would have to be Kylie Cantrell and Freya Skye. If there ever was an argument that could be presented of the next Hannah Montana, it would be Kylie Cantrell, because she's very different. While she's compared to people like Miley Cyrus all the time, and will forever be compared to people like Miley Cyrus all the time and Sabrina Carpenter, she's very different for how outspoken she is, for how strong she is, and I think never enough credit and respect is shown to her. I can upload hundreds of videos every single night on Freya Skye and Kylie Cantrell and have no regrets since, and never look back, because I really do love talking about your favorite stars. And the thing is, I want you to subscribe to this YouTube channel because you love Descendants and Zombies. I don't want you to subscribe to this YouTube channel because of me. I want you to subscribe to this YouTube channel because you are a fan of Descendants and Zombies, and that's as to the point as I can be with each and every one of you, because a lot of people are just here for the YPP program, which is the YouTube Partnership Program, or monetization opportunities, because they take advantage of Freya Skye and Kylie Cantrell, and that's as honest and as upfront as I can be with each and every one of you. I created this YouTube channel because it's exactly what the description of every video I upload suggests. I wanted to share with my passion for Disney with each and every one of you. I didn't know if it was going to be on Descendants and Zombies. I just fell in love with this niche. I wanted to share with you my passion for Disney and Nickelodeon stars because I really believe they had promising futures. I believed it years ago. I still believe it 15 years later. And I'm still just as passionate about Disney and Nickelodeon as I was 15 years ago when iCarly, Victorious, Sam and Cat were at the heights of their popularity. And now we've come into a generation that is captained by Descendants and Zombies and really taken Disney to new heights. And they're heights of unprecedentedness and something I'm really excited about. Because I can talk about the plot of Descendants 5 and Wonderland for forever. Who the new villain is going to be, I can make a lot of suggestions. Where the new controversy is going to ascend from with Red and Pink, being one of the many consequences of time travel we can expect to see in Descendants 5 Book of Wonderland. Where my issue lies is with all the criticism that Descendants and Zombies has received because it's completely unnecessary. I will never forget when Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires music videos for Place to Be and Don't Mess With Us premiered, and everybody was criticizing it. It was almost as if they didn't want to give the music videos a chance or the franchise. And I remember uploading a video within hours of the premiere of the music videos saying, can we please just give it a chance? Because what it was going to metamorphosize into was something so incredible beyond all of our wildest dreams and expectations. And it sure did. And it made the summer of 2025 a summer that I will never ever forget. But I felt so honored to be a part of because of each and every one of you. And that's as honest as and upfront as I can be with each and every one of you, because I really did fall in love with Freya, Skye, and Malachi Burton's characters. Now they brought Victor and Nova to life because nobody else would have ever been able to do it the same way that they did under the same spotlight, considering all the pressure they were under. You know, my heart goes out to them every single night when they're watching themselves on TikTok and YouTube, and they're seeing all these critical reviews posted on YouTube about the Worlds Collide Tour because their performance didn't live up to a certain criteria level of a big-time YouTube creator who has 15 million subscribers. They have 15 million subscribers because they are just like the people who host and upload these videos. They are critics. So because they have 15 million critics does not mean that it's the best YouTube channel that you should rely on for Descendants and Zombies reviews. You should rely on a guy who's honest and speaks from his heart about Descendants and Zombies. And that may not be me, but I really do put my heart into these videos because I see the passion that exists in your heart for these stars, and I know how much these stars, I have forever and always known how much these stars mean to each and every one of you, which is why I do this with a certain pride. Because I've always believed that if you're going to show up on YouTube and talk about Descendants and Zombies, then that is precisely what you should do. Show up on YouTube and talk about Descendants and Zombies. And talk about it in a way that it's truly meaningful to the people who have felt inspired by Freya Skye and are the reason why she has 500,000 subscribers on her YouTube channel. If you're going to talk about Kylie Control, talk about Kylie Control so that she feels confident. She feels inspired to keep on working the way that she is and demonstrating great work ethic. Because I remember Kylie as a girl at 8 years old sitting on her bed in her bedroom recording videos on Sam and Cat and Victorious and falling in love with those videos. I was a YouTuber ever before Kylie Control, so I was looking for incentive to create videos on Victorious, Sam and Cat because I was a huge fan of Victoria Justice and Ariana Grande. That's undeniable. And I'm going to see Wicked for Good because of Ariana Grande on November 21st. I know it's a 3-hour-long musical, and I'll probably be going by myself taking the bus, but I have no regrets because I'm a big Ariana Grande fan. It had everything to do with how I followed her on the Broadway musical The Lion King, Victorious, Sam and Cat. It's just a shame the Sam and Cat series only lasted 35 episodes and merely just one season. The same thing can be said about Kylie Control's show Gabby Dern and the Unsittables, just 2 seasons, and I think something like 55 episodes were dropped. I would like to believe that it had everything to do with how Disney realized the potential that existed for people like Kylie Control and Ruby Rose Turner. They took full advantage of that because Ruby was recording great music in about 2020 when she was, of course, a part of that show, Coop and Cammy Ask the World, which I thought at one point or another it was a toss-up between Coop and Cammy Ask the World or Bizaardvark to be Disney's answer to iCarly. And it's just a shame Disney didn't take full advantage of those opportunities. But I believe it had everything to do with how they realized these stars were going to have better opportunities on the horizon, and they were going to really break out. They were going to become breakout stars, which they were always meant to be. But it didn't happen because Disney realized the potential in them. The more that I came to realize, it was because of each and every one of you. Because you outshined all the critics at the Worlds Collide Tour. You've outshined every critic on YouTube. And for that, I just want to say thank you. Because nobody ever knew who I was. Nobody had ever heard my voice before. Nobody cared about my opinion. until I discovered the power behind Disney and its fans and realized that Disney fans are some of the most supportive and some of the most incredibly loyal fans that anyone could ever have as the host of a podcast. Word of advice to everybody, I think more people should be uploading Descendants of Zombies videos, but then again, the more that I think about it, because they don't know the first thing on how to commentate about Descendants of Zombies, because they really can't, because they're just reaction videos, I think they should leave it to a professional like me. And I just want to put it out there too, if you guys are wanting a Descendants of Zombies podcast officially, I will gladly host one on Disney.com or D23.com if ever given the opportunity. I'll direct Descendants of Zombies for you guys, because I know what's up. Rest assured I know what's up and I know what to give you. Because there are so many characters that have yet to see their introduction into this franchise that have yet to see a greater appreciation given to them and more of a chance taken on them than perhaps ever before. And I'm just incredibly honored to be here, to be in your guys' presence, to talk about your favorite stars every single night, to be here to discuss what I believe is the future for Descendants of Zombies, which is a formidable one. And one should believe, everybody should believe who has ever been a fan of Descendants of Zombies, that it's a promising future, because it really is. And I have never felt more excited to commentate on Descendants of Zombies. I have never felt more excited to be in your guys' presence, and never felt more honored to have become your voice of Descendants of Zombies. Because I really would love to be the announcer for the Kingdom Cup games, finding its way to Oregon in Descendants 5 Book of Wonderland this summer. I've never felt more honored to be your voice of Descendants of Zombies, to commentate on people like Kylie Cantrell, Ruby Rose Turner, and Malia Baker and their friendship, which I really do believe is a beautiful friendship that should be given more of a chance, instead of us criticizing it. Because why can't girls just be friends? Because for those of you who don't realize it, for every idiot out there, some of those beautiful friendships of all time are friendships that exist between girls. Some of those beautiful friendships of all time should be honored because of what exists between girls and the passion they see in each other. That's why they tell everything to each other, because they trust each other more than they've ever trusted a guy. And the quicker guys can realize that, I think some of the best relationships of all time will work out for the better. I think that this undeniable chemistry that we see all the time on the set of Descendants of Zombies can never be given enough credit or shown enough respect. And that's exactly what I'm here to do. To showcase these friendships between Freya, Skye, and Malachi Burton in a way it was meant to be showcased. To showcase the friendship between Zed and Addison's characters, Mila Manheim and Meg Donnelly, for how they were meant to be showcased. To put the friendships of Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker on a pedestal they've been more than deserving of being on, because I feel as if they've received their fair share of criticism which they don't deserve. I say this because you guys are some of the greatest fans in the world. I don't know if you realize this or not, or think about it enough, but I want you guys to know that you're some of the best fans in the world. Because I thought my career was over 7.5 years ago, and I recorded what I believed to have been my final podcast until I discovered the power of this niche. And I started uploading hundreds of videos on Descendants of Zombies, and I get a subscriber every single day. There isn't a day goes by that someone doesn't subscribe to this YouTube channel because they see the value in these videos. And if you're someone who's thinking about subscribing to this YouTube channel, perhaps you should. Because I really do believe that there's a passion that goes with talking about Descendants of Zombies. There is a pride that goes with talking about these two franchises because you see the value in it. It's not just about recording a reaction video about Dream Come True or Rewrite the Stars or Legends in the Making and uploading it and getting thousands of subscribers and 50,000 likes. It's about talking about it in the way it was meant to be talked about. It's about how you see yourself through the eyes of these characters, whoever you're an idol of or whoever you idolize. It's really an incredible experience, and an experience that I will never ever forget, which is why I can upload hundreds of videos on Descendants of Zombies for what feels like forever. Because I really do believe that you should honor the franchises for how much they've meant to so many people, because these are franchises that people grew up with, that people will forever talk about. It's been 10 years since Descendants premiered, and people are still talking about it. And I've never felt more honored to talk about it, to be in everybody's presence and talk about it, because they're the best of friends because of Descendants of Zombies, because they role play as their favorite characters. They dress up as them for Halloween every year. Come to think of it, I've got to get some Halloween treats, which I haven't picked up yet. Halloween is only just 3 weeks away, and I'm really excited about it. Hey Google, how many days until Halloween?
Halloween in St. John's is in 24 days.
Oh my god, and I haven't got any treats yet. I think they're on sale at Walmart. I was there checking out the video games before I recorded this show, so I can get something done, make something happen. Every year on Halloween, there are girls who show up and are dressed up as their favorite Descendants characters, and I want you guys to know that I love that. And I'm here to tell you guys there's nothing wrong with that, and I hope they keep doing it. I hope if you're somebody who does that in your neighborhood every year on Halloween, more power to you. I remember seeing a video actually where Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker dressed up as Red and Chloe, and everybody thought they were just dressed up in costume and didn't really think they were them. That was kind of really cool when they did that one year for Halloween. I think it was just after the premiere of The Rise of Red. But it just went to show how passionate they were about these characters and how dedicated they were to a franchise they grew up watching. Because I remember Amelia Baker on a show, Are You Afraid of the Dark, which I used to watch back on October 31st, 1990. I believe that was the night of its premiere. And I remember being freaked out by the premiere episode, The Phantom Cab, where Danny and Buzz went into the woods and they got inside of a cab before it crashed into a tree and they had to solve a riddle. You know, what makes the barrel lighter? It's a hole. Duh, that makes the barrel lighter. And they were able to save each other's lives and protect each other and understand the value of how family is the most precious commodity in this lifetime. I also remember episodes of Are You Afraid of the Dark, like Jake the Snake and The Tale of the Leprechaun, which were very revered shows, and The Tale of the Phone Booth. And I'm a big fan of this kind of stuff. I really am, and I love telling you the stories of how I drew inspiration as growing up as a millennial, because growing up as a millennial, you haven't lived until you've grown up as a millennial. I know that Kylie Contrell has expressed a desire of wanting to grow up in the 1990s, and I had the fortune of growing up in the 1990s from 1986 to 2000, which makes me a millennial. So I witnessed the rise of popular boy bands like the Backstreet Boys, who went on to become one of the most revered and greatest boy band of all time. NSYNC getting their Hollywood Walk of Fame star. I think that was in like 2015 or 16 or something. I remember being huge fans of them. Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera in that constant battle of who was far more superior and who was the better looking. Eminem's rise to popularity and mediocre. Taylor Swift, of course, becoming one of the greatest pop stars of all time, if not the greatest, by 2006. Greatest times of my life were spent in the 1990s, from 1990 up until 2000 and the turn of the millennium. And at the turn of the millennium, people like Kylie Contrell and Ruby Rose Turner come from out of nowhere and become the last of a generation. They are really outlaws, and because they're outlaws and the last of a generation, and Disney will never have stars like this again, neither Disney or Nickelodeon, I think they deserve to be shown respect, because they're setting examples for the foreseeable future, which I don't know what details, but I know they're the last of a generation, which means they deserve more respect than they've ever been given or shown. And I think the greatest respect is shown by Descendants of Zombies fans, because there is no other niche I would want to provide commentary for than Descendants of Zombies. It's just after 7 p.m. tonight, and the sun is officially set. But rest assured, as sure as the sun is officially set on all of our lives, you guys will forever and always have me, regardless of who is seen in these franchises, who comes and goes. When you talk about people like Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson, who have been wished upon a star by many fans to reprise their roles as Mal and Evie, I think it's a long way away from happening. I think we have a better chance of seeing Sophia Carson reprise her role as Evie as we ever do Dove Cameron reprising her role as Mal, but that's just my opinion on it. But I think as fans of the franchise, we got to change with the times, and I think we've done a pretty good job doing that, because we believe in these stars perhaps more than we ever have the original cast. And I really do believe that people like Cameron Boyce want this franchise to be in the position it's in right now, a position to have become so revered and reviewed in a way that it was meant to be reviewed for a very long time. I didn't even think the stars of the original franchise thought Descendants would amount to this. It was really just a hit or miss, and it became something incredible, but undeniably it became something incredible because of each and every one of you. And I want you guys to know that I love you so much, and there's nothing else I would rather do than provide you guys with commentaries on Descendants of Zombies, because this really has become the greatest honor of my life. I know now more than I ever have that I want to go down in history for being one of the greatest of all time, and I will, because of each and every one of you, because my greatest fear was always to, fade off into obscurity and be forgotten about, because nobody was ever going to take me seriously on my very first podcast that aired on radio back in August of 1999. I believe it was August 15th of 1999, and it was forever a constant struggle to get your voice put out there and to promote your show in a way that it was always meant to be promoted, for talking about the Backstreet Boys and Britney Spears and the rise in popularity of Mandy Moore when her first song Candy premiered in August of 1999. That was in the same week that my first podcast premiered. So I've been on YouTube for a very long time. I've been on radio for longer than many of you have ever been alive. But I want you guys to know that it's the greatest honor of my life to be in your guys' presence. It's an honor to meet you, and it's an honor to have covered Descendants of Zombies the way that it was meant to be covered, because nobody else can do this gig as crazy and as cool as what this guy is. I'm the guy that's made crazy cool and made Descendants of Zombies cool and effective for each and every one of you, and really has brought it to life. So if there's ever a guy who should go down in history for having made Descendants of Zombies cool, it's this guy here, because it really has been the greatest honor of my life. Guys, seriously, thank you so much. Thank you so much for all the love and support you've shown this YouTube channel. I know I get emotional every single time I upload a video, but you never know how much of a reach your video is going to have and how much hearts it's going to touch. But in all honesty, guys, seriously, thank you so much for all the love and support you've shown this YouTube channel, because I don't know where I would be tonight without your guys' love and support. So tomorrow morning I will join you between 8:35 and 9:05 a.m. as I do every morning, profiling Descendants and Zombies for you once again. Guys, seriously, thank you so much from my heart to yours. We will talk again in the morning. Until then, keep kindness in your hearts as I will keep you in mind, and just know that everything is going to be okay. Why? Because everything is going to be okay. No matter what your dream is, it will eventually happen for you. Everything will make sense in due time. You will have a great school year. I know we're just about a month over into the school year of 2025-2026, but we're going to have a great school year. We're going to make every moment count, and we're going to continue to talk about Descendants and Zombies, keep the theme going, and everything Disney and Nickelodeon related, because it's the greatest honor of my life. Guys, stay calm and zombie on into the foreseeable future, because that's the only way to be in this life.